If you've done any research about trading options in the stock market, you've most likely seen a statistic that says 95% of people end up failing after their first year of trading, and only 5% of people actually come out profitable. But why is it that we see people on YouTube and Wall Street Bets posting $35,000 gains overnight? In this video, I'm going to tell you guys the truth about options trading and how you can actually beat the 95% of people that end up losing money. I've been trading options for about 2 years now, and I've seen days where I'm making $1,000, and I've also seen days where I'm losing $1,000. And throughout my time investing in options, I've made a ton of mistakes, and I've learned a few things about what separates the people who trade options and win and the people who trade options and lose all of their money. It goes without saying that the statistic about 95% of people losing all of their money in the first year is completely true, but I still don't think that it should stop you from giving it a shot. There are still plenty of ways that you can stop yourself from losing all of your money while trading options in the first year. And as I say in all my videos, grab some popcorn, sit back, relax, because this is gonna be a good video. It's got a ton of knowledge. And later on in this video, I'm gonna give you guys a couple of different tips that separates you from the other 95% of traders and gives you an advantage when trading options in the stock market. Alright, so why do traders fail? Typically when you see people posting their options courses online and they promise you can make X amount of money in X amount of time, they're choosing not to tell you a few things. The first and most obvious thing is that options trading is not a get-rich-quick scheme. And the scary thing is people will see huge gains in their first couple of days of trading options, and they'll try to replicate those gains again and end up losing all of their money. I actually ended up doing this myself. On my very first options trade, I made $1,700 in profit in about 20 minutes. Then I was so hyped up on my success on that last trade that I tried to do the same thing again, and I ended up losing all of my money. And it makes sense that there are statistics that say 40% of people will end up quitting in their first month, and 80% of people will end up quitting in their first 2 years of trading options. Because you can lose all of your money just as fast as you can make it. So if you think that you can get rich quick with options and you end up losing all of your money, you're probably gonna think that this is a scam. But honestly, options trading is so much more than just picking a few contracts that win and being a millionaire overnight. It's definitely more of a long-term game than a lottery situation, which brings me to my next point. Because a lot of people see that you can make really quick money when trading options, they tend to let their emotions get the best of them while trading. For example, when I first started trading, if I were to fail 2 trades in a row, I would actually get really upset that I'm losing my money and try to make another trade to make all of that money back. And you can clearly see where this creates a problem. It almost has the exact same effect that gambling has on you. And because you can make options trades in literally less than a minute, you can easily keep just going down a rabbit hole until you win and end up losing all of your money in the process. So here's a few things that I've learned over my years of trading options that will help you guys separate yourself from the other 95% of people who end up losing their money in the future. The first tip is to have a plan. It's very easy to just buy naked calls and puts all the time on random companies and just try to pick one that will win later on in the future. But in the long term, that strategy might end up blowing up and you might lose all of your money in the process. This is honestly why most people quit trading options after the first month. You need to have a plan of how you are going to become a profitable trader over time. So for example, my plan is to own 1 Leaps contract and have 100 shares of AMD so that I can sell covered calls against them. This plan that I have for myself is actually allowing me to generate almost $1,000 per month just in monthly income. And it's kind of what's keeping me afloat during this nasty recession that we're having right now in the stock market. So instead of buying random calls and puts on random companies, I'm actually strategizing and creating a plan for myself that will help me in the long term. Now, this isn't to say that I don't think you should buy naked calls and puts. But if I were doing that, I would definitely try to create a strategy or a plan that allows me to do that successfully and consistently over time. So for example, set a stop loss on your trades. What a stop loss does is automatically close your position once the price of your contract has gotten to a certain point. So if I set a 20% stop loss on one of my positions and that contract ends up going down 20%, it'll close out that contract immediately. The reason why setting stop losses is so important is because it doesn't allow you to let your emotions get the best of you. So while you're trading, if your contract is down 20%, you can't think to yourself, oh, maybe if I just wait another day, it'll come back. And then you lose another 20% the next day and so on. There are actually plenty of ways that you can keep your emotions out of trading options and allow you to limit your losses at the same time. Another good plan to have is to set a certain number of failed trades that you can have per day so that if you're on a losing streak, you don't just keep going in the hopes that you can actually make all your money back. So typically if I failed 2 trades back to back in a single day, I'll probably not trade anymore. I'll just call it a day because I don't want to just keep going down the rabbit hole saying, oh, maybe I'll make my money back this time around. And honestly, it's probably a good idea to set a rule like that for yourself so that you don't just keep going on a losing streak all day. Tip number 2 is stay away from YOLO plays. If you don't know what a YOLO play is, it's basically buying a super short-term contract that can make you unbelievable amounts of cash. It's what you see people doing on Wall Street bets that are making them $1 million overnight. But it's also the same thing that you see people doing on Wall Street bets that are making them lose $1 million overnight. They can make you insane amounts of money, but at the same time, they have an insane amount of risk involved when buying them. And honestly, the risk completely outweighs the reward in that sense. The thing is, options don't move in a super linear way that stocks do. If a stock goes down $5 that you own, then you are going to lose $5. But in an options contract, there are other factors like delta, theta, and implied volatility that can literally crush your chances of making any profit in the stock market. So that's the reason why you see so many people on Wall Street bets losing all of their money so fast. It's because they make these YOLO plays that could make them $100,000 overnight, but it can also make you lose everything you have in so quickly. What a lot of experienced options traders do is buy contracts that are a little bit further out in expiration so they don't lose all the value of their contract in one day. Typically, I prefer to buy monthly contracts because if your contract is down 10% in one day, you give yourself more of a chance to recover over time. But if you have a contract that expires on Friday and it's Tuesday and you lost 50% of your contract, you probably don't have a good chance of actually coming back at all. And my third tip about how to actually separate yourself from the other 95% of people that are failing is to actually get educated about trading options. I actually don't think courses are a bad thing. I mean, a lot of people have free courses and a lot of people have paid courses, and both of them can give you a ton of information and a ton of knowledge. And honestly, options trading can be really daunting at times, especially in the beginning, because there are different things like the Greeks and implied volatility that make options so difficult to understand. And these things can definitely mislead you into failing super quickly because you might think that options are just a very linear strategy, but they definitely aren't. And there are so many different courses, YouTube videos, and things that teach you the ins and outs of how to actually trade options. It really is a great idea to get yourself educated in options because the 5% of people who don't end up quitting after 2 years have put in the time, put in the work to actually research and understand what they're doing. And if you get yourself a mentor or join a Discord group or join a course, you can give yourself an edge on the other people who aren't doing that. I've had people ask me if I have a course or a Discord group because they like the way that I explain things, but sadly, I don't. Anyways, thank you so much everybody for making it to the end of this video. If you liked it, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe because I need all the support I can get on this channel. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.